and Mulwanini. All right, everyone. Leopard, yay! Sorry, I was just chatting on the radio, updating the guys quickly. The other vehicles just there on the backside. Here's the Leopard moving through here. I'm just trying to see where he's going to go. There's some Impala that were just over here, but you can now hear them calling. And maybe I'll go quiet for a minute. You can hear them. Ooh, look, he's going. He tried to catch a Franklin. It didn't quite work. He's been found out by the Impala, so now he's going to carry on and keep looking for whatever else might come his way. And hopefully he'll stick around this area. This is not an easy area to follow through, but it's a better area than some. So we're going to drive alongside him and do our best to keep him on camera. Just saying good morning to the other vehicle that is with us in the sighting, whose guests have huge smiles on their faces, or you do. It is definitely Husana. Yes, indeed, it is Husana. That is true. All right, he's going to go around here a little bit. Let's go around this termite mound. Let's see what we can do. Sorry that I'm not looking at you, everybody. Don't want to hit a stump. He's going to come just around, and I'm going to do my best to get a good view for all of you. All right, so any of our new viewers, this is Hosana. This is the little 2-year-old male that we were talking about earlier, who we were hoping to catch up with. He was busy at ChitwaChitwa Lodge this morning. He was actually apparently near the, Bildy, tell me when? Near the spa this morning. One of the guides found him there, and then he didn't want to get a spa treatment, and he's moved off and decided to come this way. That's beautiful. Here we go. He's going to come just on our left-hand side. Oh, and there's a huge herd of buffalo in front of us as well. There we are. Now we just need Jamie to find us a rhino, and we've had our big 5 for the morning. Hello, my boy. Hasana's looking a lot bigger. He's looking like he's filling out. It's looking like he's getting a little bit of a dewlap going on. It's going to come behind our car. Come around fully. There we go. Vildy's doing his best to work around the back side of our vehicle. Now there's tiny little baby buffaloes in that herd of buffalo, but I don't think that Hosana has necessarily tried for a baby buffalo before, so I think he's more interested in those Impala. And he's looking nice and healthy, but I don't think that he's had a meal sort of within the past days. So we might get a bit more action out of him, although I'm quite enjoying his little stroll through the bush here. Let's try there. There we go. His ears are perked. His tail is up. He's stopping and looking. He definitely has filled out. Tad, you're saying his dewlap is getting bigger. Tad, I completely agree with you. He's also looking... this is going to sound funny, but more male-ish. When I started here in November, he had more slender qualities, more young male traits. And now he's starting to fill out really nicely. I'm actually getting quite impressed with our little young Hosana right now. He's gonna be a male to reckon with. And I know most of us already have a big space in our hearts for him. And I think he's going to be quite the male. We've been chatting on and off about the fact that he might possibly take over from Tingana at some point. And it might end up being sooner rather than later, to be honest with you. Here we go. He even seems like he's grown a little bit taller. I think he probably has a few more kilograms to put on himself, and oh, sorry for my hat, and possibly get a little bit taller as well. But you know, he's looking in good nick, and especially considering his circumstances, where his mom passed away when he was so young, and he was having to eat little baby terrapins to survive. What he's taught himself and what his instincts have provided, along with some good luck, has really worked out well for him. That's nice. This little tail going. All right, we're going to come around. We're giving the other vehicle that I'm with, we're leapfrogging a little bit and giving each other space for each other to get a nice view, which is working out well. I mean, the guys from Chitwa are very good with us and with sharing sightings with us. And it's always interesting as well to see their guest faces when we pop up, and then with the animal. Sometimes they watch the animal, and sometimes they watch us a little bit more than they watch the animal. Andrew, you're saying Husana is your favorite. Thank you for us finding him. You're very welcome. We didn't find him. We re-found him after he'd been found. But yes, I'm glad we can get him on camera for all of you. And I'm also just happy to have a bit of leopard action this morning. He's seen something. He's not in full stock mode, but he's definitely seen something. And we've got a third vehicle with us, so we're allowed to have 3 vehicles in a sighting, depending on the sighting. And she is busy coming around for a view as well. Now, Hosana has seen something that interests him. Could be Franklin's again. We all know he loves to chase squirrels as well. But then again, it could be impala. Vildy and I have been circling this area for, as you know, for most of the morning. And we've seen quite a few impala. He's going to move around in front here. Whatever he's seen is definitely interesting him, but not to the point where he wants to fully stalk quite yet. And I just want to towards this large termite mound. Any of you that watch us on a regular basis will remember about a month ago a wonderful sighting we had of Tingana, Husana's father, lying on top of this big termite mound just up here, just next to the side of the road. He was very lazy the whole game drive, but we got some very nice views of him. All right, we're going to come past this weeping wattle. Sorry there, Vildy. No thorns in there, so Vildy won't get caught on anything. And there, his ears are flat. Look, look, look. Proud Cat Mom asking, what are the uses of the leopard's claws? They're for catching prey. What happens is they protract as they're about to grab their prey, and that claw gets stuck into the prey itself and then doesn't move. It doesn't unhook, and it helps bring down the prey. I feel like he sees things that interest him, because remember, he's still young. He's just over 2 years old. So he sees things that interest him. There's a tortoise. So he's watching that tortoise. He's not hunting that tortoise. He's watching that little hingeback tortoise there. Now he sees things that are interesting him, but then waiting, and then getting interested, and then waiting again. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with these impala that are just up in here. So now, because of where we are with this sighting, and because the other game drives are out and about, I'm not going to be able to stick with Husana the whole time like we like to do. I am going to be limited to some time. I just want to forewarn everybody now. Shannon, great question. You want to know if Husana will continue to grow or stop. He will stop growing around 4 years old, 5 years old. Then he'll reach his sort of adult male peak physique. I'm just going to move forward a bit. try and get under these bunches. So he's lying in the exact same spot where we had Tingana the other month, as we were chatting about. And I'm going to see if we can move in such a way where we can see him as well as see the impala that he's keen on. I'm going to try from here. There we go. Beautiful. We're going to get some nice screenshots here. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to do impala and him in the same shot. I think we're going to have to choose him. We've got a little bit of sunlight that's peeking through. I can actually hear monkeys behind us, to be honest. I can hear those vervets going around behind us, and I'm wondering, when we came up on the road and we saw this Wilde, was the leopard we're going to, or is it a different one? And I said, that's the update that I have is that he moved north, and then so this was him. But that doesn't mean that there's not more leopards around. It doesn't mean that Tingana's not around. It doesn't mean that Kachava's not around. We haven't talked about Kachava in a while. Kachava is a female leopard that is one of Tundi's daughters that has supposedly has her cubs on the southeastern corner of Chitwa. I haven't seen her since we saw her heavily pregnant just after Christmas. But she does like this area as well. And then, of course, we're not far from where Tundi and the cub are. And don't forget, everybody, we are live and we are interactive. Hashtag Safari Live on Twitter or YouTube chat. And we love those questions and comments. I think he might just take a little bit of a beat, waiting to find his opportune moment. Pink, pink, pink nose. The pink nose phenomenon works really well with lion. The darker it gets, the older that they are. And with leopard, you can use it a bit. But if you'll notice, if you look at photos of Tingana, his nose is pink, but it does have some pink and then some black on it. So it's not the full coloration change like you get with lion. All right, everybody. So Scott's busy tracking. And he loves to track, and I hope he finds that female. And then, unfortunately, the Mara feed with Jamie has had a gremlin attack. So you guys are stuck, and I don't think it's a bad place to be stuck. We all love Husana very much. He is an interesting leopard. He's got such a personality. I have to say, and this could be very cheeky of me to say, but I have to say I did enjoy him dismantling the rover the other day. Andrea, you want to know why are his ears going flat like that? Andrea, he's listening. So there's a few different reasons why his ears would go flat. Sometimes it's in concentration. So yesterday afternoon, Andrea, we were with a female and her ears were doing that, and that has to do with concentration. Then sometimes they're just listening, and sometimes they're upset. He's just listening right there. His face would be different if he was upset. Guys, I just want to move around a little bit now that one of the other vehicles has changed their spot. And so I'm just going to come around. It's going to be quite bumpy. If we can just hang on while I do that. To come through this little miter drain here. Everyone, this is going to be gorgeous. Hello, my boy. All right. Here we go. How beautiful is that, everyone? Thanks, Wilde. Literally same spot. I have a photo of Tingana doing exactly this from a month ago. Now, we know that Husana has a little bit of an obsession with Tingana. He follows him around, not all the time, but he enjoys being in his presence. Part of that has to do with where Tingana has been lurking and the fact that Tingana overtly aggressive towards Husana, as some older males can be, regardless of parenthood. The other reason, I think, my personal opinion, is that because his mum passed away earlier on, he tends to attach himself to Tingana just as an older leopard companion. And I think it's just something that we don't read about often in books. Now, Kirst, I did hear you in my ear, and I believe you were asking me to go to Scott, because I think Scott has an update, which is very exciting. So I think let's head on over to him. He is looking a little bit sleepy. That is in fact true. There we are. And of course he opens his eyes as we get live to all of you. Now everyone, we are going to have to share him shortly. So we're going to be able to stay with him for a couple of more minutes. And then unfortunately we're going to have to move on. But don't fret. We can still hear monkeys' alarm calling, but a different set of monkeys in the general vicinity of where we find Tundi. So that is a promising thing. But for now, we are with him. And for now, he's decided to stop his hunting and have a break. Very similar to what our female leopard did yesterday. Rhea, good question. You'd like to know how close does prey have to be for a leopard to catch it? Rhea, it depends on the circumstances. It depends on how thick the bush is. It depends on what the wind conditions are doing and what if the prey has any idea that the predator is there, in particular this leopard. But what they'll do is they'll stalk until they're within several meters and then either pounce if they're very close or sort of run up quickly and then grab them. Shame, you guys make me laugh so hard. So Donna, you're saying that large tick on his face makes your skin crawl. Every time one of the leopards has a tick, I feel like all of you just want to like sort of leap up and pick it off. I hear you a bit. He's got one in his ear as well. He's not bothered by them though. They are a little bit swollen. They'll come off eventually. There, he's going to groom himself. Maybe he'll manage to dislodge a tick or two. Maybe not. All right, everybody. We unfortunately have to give room for the guides to come in and view him. Now, hopefully he'll stick around in this area so that we can maybe possibly see him later, depending on how busy the sighting gets, or possibly see him this afternoon. But this is not a bad way to start our day. And I can hear the other vehicle coming up now, and he's going to move, and I think we're going to let him move in front of us. Oh, there we go. All right. He's now just searching around. I think maybe let's head on over to Scott and base here, and then we will go follow up on those monkey alarm calls.
Yes, it seems like Hosana has moved away from the area where you were viewing him with Noelle, and he's now on Vuyatela. So he's on a different property, and just two vehicles, myself and the other person who's been staying with him. Now, apparently he did have a kind of view of some warthog that he tried to catch, and now he's obviously just thinking about what he did wrong in his attack, because clearly he's got no bacon just yet, but very, very good prospects for us as he is on the move. It's quite a thick area, so it's going to be tricky business staying with him, but we will do our best to do that. And we're moving right this second before he disappears. Wonderful stuff. Sounds like you had an incredible time with Noelle and the wild dogs. I was racing here so quickly that I didn't share all of the updates. Oh, he's just popped out, and it looks like he's smelling a termite mound with a few holes in it, and it could well be where these warthogs sleep or where they've run into to escape from him. Now, this is the very same area where we followed Tundi yesterday evening. Oh, sorry, it's a leopardess who's got a young little cub, and it'll be interesting to see what happens if she does come across this young male over here. Adele, you'd like to know if I think this male will be as big as his father, if not bigger. Yeah, I guess they'll be similar sizes. I wouldn't really be able to hazard a guess at this stage as to how big he is going to. Okay, well, we're going to try and do our best to stay with him. And while we do that, we will send you back to Noelle, whose wild dog are back on the move. Yes, we've managed to catch up with him again. He did a bit of a runner to the south, and he is currently going kind of parallel to our southern boundary. He may cross over it where we won't be able to follow him, sadly. Well, I hope the pack manages to relocate with the missing members. It'll be very cool to see. And what a morning, filled with predators. He has sadly crossed over our southern boundary, but not to worry, he may kind of slink back and crisscross. But I've got a feeling he's following the trail of these warthog that he's apparently after. I haven't seen them yet. The vehicle who's been following him before we got here said there were some warthogs, and the way he kind of ran south trying to catch up with them indicates that that is what he is still interested in. And what's further interesting is that I have, on one occasion, followed him, and he chased warthogs he followed their scent trail for about almost a mile, maybe half a mile. So he will and does definitely kind of follow up on certain prey like warthog that have run off, which is uncommon for leopard, actually. Usually once prey has detected the predator gives up, but not in his case, and certainly not with warthogs. Very good. We're going to send you back to Noelle and the wild dogs.